It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you, and welcome to the Science Bowl, the science quiz show here at the Prince George's Schools, where we test scientific literacy. We invite you to test your own and play along with us today. One of these two schools could be advancing and become the third of our 4 semifinalists in this year's elementary competition. A lot at stake today. Let's go over and meet the teams. First, from Glenarden Woods Elementary School, would you please say hello to William and Zive, Malachi Hammond, and Mercy Balepo. And from Yorktown Elementary, say hello to Tristan Imanena, Gabby Wilson, and Kirik Johnson. And now, here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing, and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
And here on the Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to question difficulty. On the left, easier questions worth 5 and 10 points. Tougher ones worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. And to the 2 rounds, one of these 2 talented, good-looking teams will come back to play again, maybe advancing to the semifinals. Let's make sure everything works properly. Let's go to the red team. And Malachi, would you try your buzzer? It looks and sounds just good. Good luck to you and to William and to Mercy. And Gabby, how about the green teams? A-OK over there as well. Good luck to you, to Tristan and to Kirik. Are we ready to do this? Yeah. Let's play this game. Let's have a good game. May the better team win. And congratulations for being here representing your schools. You are great ambassadors. Everybody wins just by being here. We're happy to have you with us. We go alphabetically, G before Y. So Glenarden wins and Malachi. Let's play the bowl. Go.
Green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points. Teams, we all know that chlorophyll in leaves disappears in the fall. The reason why it disappears is because there's a chemical called chlorophyllase, ending in ASE, which is what kind of chemical that breaks down the chlorophyll? It's a catalyst. Glenarden Woods. Chlorophyllase is a kind of what?
Enzyme.
Enzyme, exactly right. Not used up in the reaction, but hastens its process. Good. Go. Red.
Zoo Parade for 10.
Zoo Parade for 10 points. You know, Dorothy on the way to Oz, she feared lions and tigers and bears, oh my. But in Southeast Asia, there is a researcher who is searching for tigers, and these 2 pachyderms, both of which are hunted by poachers. Tigers and what's?
Leopards.
No. Yorktown, I'm looking for 2 pachyderms, both of which are hunted by poachers in Southeast Asia, along with tigers. You have to know what a pachyderm is. A pachyderm is an elephant, and it means thick skin. And the other one is a rhino. Rhinos and elephants and tigers. Oh my. Go red.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems for 20 points. Teams, your question is as follows. You know, there are words that are called homonyms. They sound alike, but they're spelled differently. Watch me please. The first one is Ilium, I-L-E-U-M. That's the last part of your small intestine. The other ilium in your body is spelled I-L-I-U-M, and it is one of these which is part of your pelvis. It is a what? If it's part of your pelvis. Yorktown. What is it, Gabby?
A bone?
It's a bone. That's it, right. Pelvis is a bone. That is one of the bones in the pelvis. That's the ilium. Good. Green. Go.
Science potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points. Lake Baikal in Russia is so big it contains 1/5 of the Earth's supply of fresh water. It is the only lake in the world that has a native species of these pinnipeds with flippers for feet. Glenarden Woods.
Seals.
Seals, that's it. Thanks, Mercy. Good assist there. Go Red.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15 points. Teams, if someone is examining your brain, an electroencephalogram, all kinds of waves come out. They are named for what first two letters in the Greek alphabet? There are these waves and those waves.
Alpha
Gabby.
and beta. Alpha and beta.
You got it. Alpha waves and beta waves. Good. Green, go.
I didn't think I knew that. Science potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for?
10.
10 points. Teams, one of these spouters, called Old Faithful, goes off every 78 minutes. Glenarden Woods.
A geyser.
A geyser, that's it. Indeed, because of all that geological activity and that heat down below Wyoming, up they go. Go, Red.
Zoo parade for 20.
Zoo parade for 20 points. Teams, if an animal is weaned, W-E-A-N-E-D, it starts to do what? What does it start to do when an animal is weaned? Yorktown. Tristan, looked like you had an idea over there. What you got?
Shed.
Not shed, no. If an animal is weaned, it starts to do this, Glenarden Woods.
Mate.
Eat solid food. Before that, it just drinks its mother's milk. Then it is weaned, and it now starts eating meat or whatever the normal diet is for that animal. Okay, score 90 Glenarden Woods, 85 Yorktown. Close game, advantage Red. Go.
Let's get physical for 15.
15 points. Teams, there is a popular movie out, one-word title. The character in the movie, played by Morgan Freeman, has bones that are so brittle that they can shatter just like this substance. Glenarden Woods.
Glass.
Glass, yes, that amorphous solid liquid. Good. Red, go.
Zoo parade for 15.
Zoo parade for 15 points. Teams, this is a multiple choice question. Canada geese, we see them all over the place. They are considered monogamous, M-O-N-O-G-A-M-O-U-S, because they all eat the same kind of food, they fly in a V formation, or they mate for life. They're called monogamous because of which of those reasons, Glenarden Woods?
They eat the same type of food.
No, sir. Good try. Yorktown, do they fly in a V formation? Do they eat the same kind of food, or do they mate for life, which is why we call them monogamous?
Mate for life.
They mate for life. Absolutely right. Good. Come back. Go Green. Oh, hold that thought. That buzzer says we've come to the end of the first. You just got your steam going there. We'll come back after the commercial, and our score right now is 105 Glenarden Woods, 100 Yorktown. Back with round two in a moment, everybody. Don't go away. Welcome back to Science Bowl. So nice to have you here today. Thank you for spending time for us. This is our 33rd year here in Prince George's schools, and we always have wonderful young people here. As I said to them earlier, they're great ambassadors for their school. They do a great job, and so everybody wins by being here. Let's go over to the Glenarden Woods team. Glenarden Woods, one of the winningest schools in our 33-year history, having won the elementary championship many, many times, most recently 2 years ago. Malachi, tell us about Glenarden Woods. Where in the county is it? It's in the central portion, is it not?
Yeah.
Yes. And who's your principal?
Miss Bolding.
The wonderful Miss Bolding, and she's out there. I know she's a big fan of yours. And who are your coaches?
Miss Emerson and Miss Stewart.
Wonderful. And I know Miss Stewart, she gets so nervous, sometimes she can't even watch. She paces the hall out there. She's a wonderful coach, as is Miss Emerson. Any alternates on your team? I think you have a lot of them. Can you give me their first names?
Vanessa, Madeline, Eli, and Callista.
All right. Thank you, Mercy, for helping him out. That's a good memory you've got there, Malachi. Tell us something great about Glenarden Woods. And you have some great news to tell us.
Yes. Well, we just moved into a new school, and it's kind of exciting to be in a new school with new things. We're also a green school. We use light and bioenergy from the ground to make our school run.
And also, you've just been designated a
Blue
ribbon school, and you're going to be recognized for that. Very few schools get that honor, and this is the second time Glenarden Woods has received that recognition, and your new school is just beautiful. I've been over there a number of times. Tell me about yourself, Malachi. What do you like to do in your spare time?
I like to read books and play video games, and I do tell some jokes.
That's great. You have a great smile, and I know you like to tell corny jokes. And I told him, I said, if you got a good joke, I said, I'll give you a chance to tell it at some point here. What do you want to do professionally someday?
I want to be an astrophysicist.
Yeah. How'd you get interested in that?
Well, I've watched some shows like Cosmos, A Space-Time Odyssey, and Star Talk by Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he
Yes.
kind of inspired me. So.
They're inspirational guys on those shows. I can see why you are tempted to do that yourself. Mercy, how about yourself? What do you do in your spare time?
I like to take pictures, and I like to skateboard.
Yeah, and you told me on the form that you gave me that you're still not sure about a profession. You're still thinking about that. Any hints?
Maybe a photographer or fashion designer. I don't know.
Yeah, you have plenty of time to work that out. You're a good player. I like how you're helping out your captain there. You've made a difference so far. And William, nice to have you here. You're thinking about engineering as well, aren't you? Yeah. How'd you get interested? Do you like to tinker with things? Do you take things apart?
Sometimes, although I'm not very good at putting them back together.
Yeah, I'm with you, young man. It's easier to take them apart sometimes. What got you interested in astrophysics and engineering? Because I think you're into things in the heavens as well.
Yeah, it's just I just like outer space. I think it would be really cool to be able to design stuff and start a colony on Mars maybe.
Absolutely, because we're going there hopefully in your lifetime. We're going to have someone up there on Mars. Just the thought of it is just amazing. I like your shirts, by the way. Very nice.
Thank
and you're welcome. And what is the mascot there?
Tigers.
Tigers, all right. All right, Yorktown likes to roar too. This is their third time here this season. Great team over there. Gabby, tell us about Yorktown. Who's your principal?
Dr. Savoy.
Wonderful, and I think you told me she might be here today. Wonderful, and I know how proud she is of all three of you. And who's the coach of your team? I think you have two, don't you? Who are they?
Miss Morales and Miss Parambo.
Wonderful, and have been part of Science Bowl for many years, and both of you, thank you so much for all you've done for these young people here. And Gabby, any alternates on your team?
Yeah,
First names?
Aaliyah.
Aaliyah, that was easy. All right. Something about Yorktown you think we should all know about, something you're proud of.
Yorktown has after-school clubs like robotics and engineering, and we have a Spanish class, which not many other schools have.
Absolutely. It's good to have those extracurricular things in addition to what you're doing. You've got Science Bowl there too, right? I'm just a little biased about that. Nice to have you here. Tell us about what you do in your spare time.
I like to draw, do art, and cook.
Yeah. And you want to be a chef someday?
Yeah.
And you want to get into food artistry?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
we
the
were talking
kind.
about this earlier about you see the foods in magazines and they look so tempting, but a lot of times they're inedible ingredients, right?
Yeah, I want to do stuff that that's part good, that's part actual food and then part not food. So maybe my food will get in the magazine someday. Yeah. So maybe cake made out of so one time I saw a Chihuahua cake that had glazed eyes that looked like an actual Chihuahua, but
wow.
it was edible, but
It was.
nobody wanted to eat it because it was looked so real.
I
Nobody
understand that. And
nobody
sometimes
wants
you
to
don't want to
eat
disturb
animals.
because it's so beautiful. You don't want to chop it all up. Yeah. Carrick, tell us about yourself. What do you do in your spare time?
Most of the time I just play video games, and when I don't do that, I play outside if I can.
That's great. This young man told me earlier he was interested in herpetology, snakes and reptiles. Do you have any snakes at home?
We did,
You did.
but our snake died.
Snake died. I'm sorry about that, but if you want to be a professional animal handler, the more experience you get, the better, and the more you understand those species. Good luck to you, young man. And Tristan, he wants to play in the NFL, and I asked him earlier if his team won in the Super Bowl. He said, no, sir. Who did you want to win?
Oh, I wanted the Seattle Seahawks, but
They didn't even get to that point, but they came close.
yeah.
They came close. Do you play in a football team now?
Well, our school is starting a football team, and the practice was going to be tomorrow. But if it snows, No school.
Flag. It's flag.
Tristan,
Wait.
you know, if you're going to be in the NFL, you got to be tough. You got to play in the snow, right? But yet, we'll cut you some slack here, as young as you are. Good ambition. You're a good player. Let's get back to it. Yorktown 100, Glenarden Woods 105. Last correct answer came from Gabby. Gabby, let's go.
Let's get physical for 10.
Physical for 10 points. Teams, if you journey to the center of the earth, it's molten. These two elements, Fe and Ni, form an alloy. What are those two elements? Glenarden Woods.
Iron and nickel.
You got them both. Nicely done. Go red.
Let's get physical for 20.
Let's get physical for 20 points.
Yes.
Teams, the point at which a lever pivots like the wheel on the wheelbarrow is known as one of these. Name that pivot point, Glenarden Woods.
The fulcrum.
The fulcrum it is. Yes, sir. Good. Go.
Science potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25 points. Teams, there is something I did not know this existed. It's called uncombable hair syndrome. People who cannot comb their hairs because it is so tight. It is caused by two genes that have a change on them, just two. We call those changes on genes these things. Glenarden Woods.
Mutations.
Yes, they are mutated genes, and they are this close to having combable hair. Go red.
Zuperate for 25.
Zuperate for 25 points is a visual question. Look at the monitor, please. Come on, Yorktown, let's get back into this game. This is a bongo. It is a beautiful antelope that lives in Central Africa. It's very hard to see. They're secretive. This bongo is in a zoo in Cleveland. I'll give you 25 points if you can give me the C initial term that describes an animal that is kept in an enclosure. Glenarden Woods.
Captivity.
That's it. That animal is in captivity. Exactly right. Well done. Go red.
Green things for 20.
Green things, 20 points. Toxicodendron is the genus name for these three poisonous plants that make you itch. What three poisonous plants make you itch? All with the genus name Toxicodendron. Malachi.
Poison ivy, poison oak, and poison, it's a vine, poison.
So close, so close. Come on, Yorktown. Give me the three. The unholy trinity of poisonous plants that make you itch.
Poison.
It's poison ivy.
Poison oak, and
Sumac. Poison sumac was the third one. Go red.
Body systems for 10.
Body system for 10 points. Teams, recently, scientists grew inside of a petri dish arteries, veins, and capillaries, which are the three kinds of these in our body. Glenarden Woods.
Blood vessels.
Yes, indeed. Those are our three blood vessels, from largest to smallest. Go.
Let's get physical for 25.
Physical for 25 points. Teams, the space that is taken up by an irregularly shaped object, like a king's crown, can be determined if you put it into a container of water. The amount of water it displaces tells you this about that object. It gives you its what,
Volume.
Yorktown?
volume.
Yes, ma'am. Good answer. You needed those 25 points. Okay, come on.
Body systems for 25.
That's the way to do it. Body systems for 25 points. Teams, listen carefully. If you suffer from, we're all about the eyes here. If you suffer from strabismus, you have crossed eyes. If you have presbyopia, you're far-sighted. But if you have Boy, I'm wondering if you can anticipate what I was trying to ask. Maybe you can. Gabby?
Nearsighted?
Not nearsighted, no. That seemed like the obvious answer. Glenarden Woods, strabismus is crossed eyes, presbyopia is farsightedness, and heterochromia means your eyes are this.
Two different colors.
You got it, absolutely. Different chromia colors. And Mercy was smiling over there, knew where we were going with that. Good answer, go.
Dateline science for 15.
Dateline science for 15 points. Teams, this past year, Balaxavir joined Tamiflu as two medications you can take to fight the flu. Neither one of them is an antibiotic. Both of them are anti-whats? Glenarden Woods.
They're both antiviruses.
Antivirals is correct. Yes, indeed. Good, go.
Green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. Teams, this part of a flower, which is long and thin and has the anther atop it, comes from the word stamina, which means upright. Malachi.
It's the stamen.
It is the stamen. Yes, good. Red.
25. Let's get physical for 5.
Get physical for 5 points. Teams, if you know the Dr. Seuss story, Bartholomew and the Oobleck, you'll remember that King Derwin got tired of the same old things falling out of the sky. Gabby?
Rain.
What?
Rain.
Wind?
Rain.
Not rain. No, Glenarden Woods. King Derwin, he got tired of the same old things falling out of the sky, like the rain and the fog and the sun and the snow. Well, they pointed out to him, Your Majesty, only 2 of those things are forms of precipitation. What are the only 2 of those 4? Rain, sun, fog, and snow that are forms of precipitation.
Rain and snow?
That's right, yes. The other 2 are not precipitates. And of course, we know that they invented the oobleck, and that's what he had falling from the sky to his great regret. Go red.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25 points. Teams, the Chinese recently landed a spacecraft on the far side of the moon. Inside were cotton plants and potato plants because they wanted to study, the Chinese did, photosynthesis and this reciprocal process that takes place in plants. Glenarden Woods.
Transpiration.
Not transpiration. Good try. Yorktown, get yourself 25 points here. What process is opposite of photosynthesis that plants perform at night? Respiration, not transpiration. Respiration. Go red.
For 20.
Potpourri for 20 points. Teams, your question is a visual question. Look at the monitor in the studio if you would, please. This is the Declaration of Independence at the National Archives. It is beneath bulletproof glass, and inside the glass is argon gas. It is argon because is that gas insoluble, incandescent, or inert? Glenarden Woods.
Inert.
Inert, yes, it is unreactive, which means it will not join up with oxygen, for instance, and help damage that declaration. Good answer. Go red.
Dateline science for 20.
Dateline science for 20 points. Teams in Thailand last year, the whole world was watching as those boys were trapped in that cave. To get them out, none of the boys could swim. They gave them what kind of S-initialed drugs to help calm them down so they could get them out of that cave. S-initial kind of drugs that calm them down. Those were called sedatives. Sedatives. Try again, red.
Dateline science for 25.
For 25 points, teams, Margaret Hamilton is considered the founder of software engineering. It was she who was responsible for getting men on the moon for the very first time. What was the name and number of that mission when men first landed on the moon? For 25 points, Glenarden Woods.
Apollo 11.
Got it. Excellent. Go.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, every year, people here in Washington want to go downtown to see the corpse flower bloom, the one that stinks. It is inside a greenhouse called the U.S. Botanic what? Glenarden Woods.
The U.S. Botanic Gardens.
That is right. Good. Red.
Zoo parade for 5.
Zoo parade for 5 points. You've seen the commercial on television. This man is getting a pet for his 2 kids. He said, I'm not getting you a dog, guys. Glenarden Woods.
A possum.
Yeah. What kind of dad is that? There's a dead thing laying out there, and that jumps up and tries to attack the kids. Go, red.
Science potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for 10 points, I think, has been taken already. Yes? Good. The 5 is still available.
Then 5, please.
Science potpourri for 5?
Yeah.
Teams, in Aquaman, it was a tylosaur. In Jurassic World, it was a mosasaur. Both were marine reptiles. They were not these, which everyone thought they were.
Dinosaurs?
Yeah, they thought they were dinosaurs, but they weren't. Thank you, Mercy. Go. 3
Dateline.
questions left.
Dateline science for 10.
Dateline for 10 points. Teams, your question is as follows. Teams, who said this? I hope I'm remembered not for my appearances on The Simpsons, but for black holes and the origin of the universe. Glenarden Woods.
Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking, absolutely right. Or Stephen Hawking. Good, good. Go.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, this digit is the one that a lot of us use to test how hot the water is before we... Yes? Glenarden Woods.
Your finger.
Not your finger, Yorktown. What body digit you use to test to see if the bath water is too hot? And sometimes when you're in the bathtub, you get this stuck in the faucet of the tub.
Your toe?
Yeah, your big toe. All right, Dateline for 5 points. Last question of the game. Who said this? The good thing about science is that it's true whether or not you believe it. Yorktown?
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
You got it. Thank you, Kirik. And that means the end of the game. We'll be back with a wrap-up in just a moment. Don't go away. Welcome back, everybody. What a great game here today. We had 6 outstanding young people here today. We are proud of each and every one of them. Our final tally today is Yorktown 135, Glenarden Woods 320. Let's have a round of applause for the team in blue. William and Malachi and Mercy, and they've got a shadow team +1 there. Vanessa, raise your hand, Vanessa. Vanessa is here, and Eli is here. Callista, Madeline. Is this oh, no, that's the sponsor over there. This is Miss Stewart and Miss Emerson. Congratulations to both of you. We will see you in the next round. And let's give a round of applause for Yorktown. Tristan and Gabby and Kirik, congratulations to you. Aaliyah, raise your hand back there so we know who you are. And all of the important people are here from Yorktown. The wonderful principal, Dr. Savoy, is here. Miss Parambo, who has been shepherding this team for years and years, along with Miss Morales. Thank you both for all you do. We love having you part of our game, and we love having you part of our show. Tune in next time. Until then, I'm Dave Zarin. Bye-bye.